Good morning, America. This is your good friend, Dr. Turi. And today we have a very interesting video. I believe all my videos are interesting. Well, at least I hope they are. All right, now, first of all, constructive criticism is always welcome if I can serve you better. Someone yesterday complained that what I was trying to do is just to make you see the artwork behind me, but you have pictures, you've seen it, so there it is. I think it's a nice decor, as we say in French. And you just see it. So now you see Dr. Turi. Another thing, and you see also FBI and FBI. Yeah, because I am probably the first cosmic cop teaching the laws, not only to the FBI, but also to all the good people here that are listening patiently to me, trying to make sense to my English French. I apologize, remember, I am French. And that's not my first language. English is not my first language. So unless you could speak French or do what I do in a foreign language, I think you have the right to remain silent. You know, I like to joke too. Okay, we're going to make this interesting. All right, so first thing we're going to discuss is some of my predictions. Okay, the first one will be, of course, about earthquakes. And as you know, those type of windows always produce earthquakes at or above 6.0. And then yesterday we had a 6.0, and today we had a 6.0 again. So somebody must be right. Yes or no? Yeah. All right. So yesterday we had it in the Solomon Islands, and today we had it in the Antarctic ridge. Okay, before that, I said, be ready. The intensity, the magnitude of earthquake is raising. Before that, we had a 5.5, we had a 5.8, we had a 5.9, and finally 2.6. Okay, we are the 21st. Tomorrow is the main energy that actually starts to produce all this nasty, deadly news that I was referring in my other video produced a couple of days ago. So this window, it's already operational, you believe me. But before going there, let's talk a little bit about Einstein's brain power. On that updated newsletter that I wrote, and the title, of course, is the same, SOS to the World, Deadly Window, August 22nd, you have been warned. So it's the same, but it has been updated, okay, because the news are coming non-stop, so I have to keep it updated, so to speak. So very important again, okay, very important. When you're done listening, go and read, because if you are visual, you're going to understand me better by looking at me. And if you're audible, you're going to digest my information better if you read it. As simple as that. Some people complain they cannot understand my English French, and for good reasons, because it's not my first language. But I'm doing my best. Okay. All right. So Einstein. Okay. Now, the video about Einstein is worth it for you to listen. That is if you're into the brain, if you're smart, if you're curious, if you want to be a psychologist or an astropsychologist or astroforensics, whatever, anything that makes you think, okay? Things that I adore, things that I need, things that I teach, okay? Click on that video and watch the rest of the story about Einstein brain. Basically, to summarize, this guy, Einstein didn't want to give his brain to anybody. He just wanted to be cremated. Okay, somebody stole his brain. Let's get the story short, and then dig into it for years. And then finally, this guy felt guilty. Give the brain of Einstein to the scientific community. We dig into it even more, and then they said this and they said that, and then that's why he was a genius. Jesus, it's amazing how human can be so rational, so looking down at the microscope and missing the entire pictures, not being able to use the telescope or the third eye. That's where Draco entered my life, through the third eye and exit through my heart. You've seen the orbs, and if you haven't, go to DR.TURI and locate that area that said a message to the world and see how Draco entered my life through the third eye. So what happened is that, as I said many times in previous video, in case you missed it, okay, there is absolutely no difference between your brain, the one of a killer, my brain, or your mother's brain, or Einstein, or any killer for that matter. It's exactly the same brain, same weight, same density. It has, of course, various variation due to age, due to disease, due to if you smoke pot, cigarettes, or if you take drugs, you're going to affect your brain. Or it could be, just smelling shit outside, excuse my French. Anything can affect your brain, especially as you get older. That's why you have what I call the old-timer disease. Like mine. Sometimes I can't remember my name. All right, so understand what I'm saying to you here. What's different is the UCI, or the spiritual DNA that you inherited when you reincarnate yourself on this dense physical world. That sophisticated program that is induced by the universal mind. So in other words, your mind is nothing else than a very sophisticated computer, is enclosed into a bunny, cage, so that is protected, and that mind is reacting to an outside stimulus produced by the stars. But because all these educated scientists, anything from psychiatrists to psychologists to neurosurgeons, they all have been indoctrinated to believe that everything starts and finishes in the human mind. No, it's so much more than that. So unless any of these educated, smart, well-read people take my course and understand the families of that makes our solar system, the planet family, and how they interact with the human mind, all they will do is to keep digging into their microscope and miss the entire forest for the tree. Now, this been explained. You will relate or not to me, it's a matter of education. As always is, knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. The only thing I can guarantee you is that Einstein is not very happy for him to have messed up his brain, because the brain is nothing else than a piece of meat. There's nothing there. Never started and never finished within the conception of the brain. But you have to be like DR.TURI, a little bit ahead of time, to actually conceive that this brain is reacting to a core, is reacting to what Nikola Tesla says. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. Okay, I have not penetrated into the secret of this core, but I know that it exists. And DR.TURI did. And for that, I am now sought as the most egocentric man on the planet, because there is a lot of people out there that are insecure, they were born with an inferiority complex, or they are too rational, their UCL is not evolved enough. And again, I'm not putting all of you in the same bag, because if you're here, it's because you're smart and you're curious. All right, now this being said, I already proved to you that the upsurge of seismic activity is undeniable and has been increased, okay? Do I have to repeat myself? I don't think so. Read it, it's there, and it's all dated, and it's on the radio. Remember all the dates that I gave. I've been on the radio, they've been on my private Cosmic Hub website, in my newsletters, those dates and my quatrains and obvious keywords tells you the rest of the story. I am making it as easy as possible to help you raise your psychical vibration to become superhuman, so to speak, and understand that what science says or what religion says doesn't mean it's real, even though that it has been accepted by the majority of people. I'm here to challenge you to the extreme. All right, I think it works. It should work. All right, so let's look at the result of the news so far. Police officers opens up on fighting the war against law enforcement. Keyword is very clear. Police. Now you have this on the news today. A bunch of cops are getting together, trying to find out why people want to kill them and what's going on with the police. And as I told you yesterday or the day before my video, you know, I know for a fact that the police authorities are fully responsible for all the death of all the cops of the past and all of those of the future, because they are not allowing me to integrate with all brave police officers facing death every day with my software, because it is not a normal day when the SOS to the world deadly video comes in. Chances are a lot of cops are not going to go home. And they're trying to find out again with their stupid, 5 educated, well-read human limited sense. That's how we are. Okay. I'm very, very emotional about this because I've tried since 1991 to reach the cops. And I have a lot of good friends. You should see what the police, mothers, sisters, and cops are saying to me. Just Google Police Requiem, DR.TURI, or go to DR.TURI, or click on the link, Police Requiem, and see what all those cops and family members are saying. Why don't I get access and teach them so that they go home to their family? Long story. All right, what else? At least 27 people have been arrested over threat since El Paso and Dayton. Terrorism, you know, like the earthquakes, you know, like the earthquakes, the intensity has grown with the earthquake and produced finally those 6.0 or more. There's more coming. This window actually is supposed to start tomorrow, but it's about, of course, we're already into it. Okay, so there's more coming. Believe me, yeah, that's just the beginning when I'm referring it. So the terrorism energy, like the earthquake energy, is increasing. That's why I went to the FBI website again, okay, and tried to explain to them and to tell them by repetition. They all think I'm cuckoo. They all think I'm crazy. Meantime, they are watching this. I know you're an FBI agent. You're looking at DR.TURI and you're trying to wonder how I do it. Well, I want to teach it for free. Why didn't you knock at my door this time? But instead of thinking I'm a sleeping cell and missing the boat like 4 of you did so far, why don't you just ask for my help? And then we go from there so we can save you asses. Jesus, bunch of kids over there, 30, 40 years old kid, FBI agent, have nothing in the head. Why don't you use my lifetime of cosmic research? Different. How can you stop this or learn more about earthquakes if you're doing the same thing over and over again? That's a stupidity to the extreme. Well, what else? Hijacker shot dead after taking 37 bus passengers hostage in Brazil. Is that terrorism? Hello? Well, I cannot reach the FBI in Brazil, but you know, the FBI knows what's going on in Brazil too. So maybe they're going to say, huh, maybe he was right. You know, he warned us. And then there you go. It's not over yet. Remember. Okay. Move on. Mexican court said cocaine use is legal for 2 people. Okay. Well, you know, the Mexican mob, because this is all about the mob. It's about the people that are in power, the government, like they did in the United States. Okay, you have a lot of lawmakers that are pothead from the get-go. They're born Libra. They're born in October. They're born in January. They have a strong tail in Pisces. They're all pothead. It's part of being human being. It's just the way it is. They are Neptunians. Okay, I'm not criticizing anybody. What I'm trying to tell you is, if it's good for the United States government to make sure this pot is going everywhere, and getting paid for it and having a control. So the Mexican people starting to wake up, said, why don't we do that? And remember, those who pulled the string, not only in the United States, but also in Mexico, are the mob. You know, they control your life. They're big people. Okay? This is not in the corner where you have a kid, you know, selling pot that's going to go to jail, okay, that you should look at. You should look into those big, huge mansions, millions and millions of dollars, a big, big, beautiful mansion by the ocean in Florida. That's where the mob resides. That's where all this money goes back and forth, okay? All right, so the Mexican government is start to line up because of the mob. They want money, they want control, and then maybe you can use that like they do in the United States as a cover to, you know, to control the consumer. All right. Florida officials are investigating why panthers are seen stumbling and falling down. Yeah, this is terrible. Well, the same happened with animals. You know, they get poisoned. The people want to kill rats, they want to kill them, they want to kill alligators. Then there's big huge factory dropping shit. You got crazy people dropping stuff, putting snakes out there. The reptiles are everywhere. They are into the brain of everybody, and not just like, you know, Mr. David Icke, my ex-old friend, says it's only rich people, it's only the Queen of England, Obama, and all these big guys that turn into lizards. Oh, whoa. Insane. Of course, he cannot turn back and change his stories now because that's what he preached for us 20 years. Makes no freaking sense. He's also infected like me, like you, like anybody. If you smoke, if you drink too much, you're going to be infected. And it can happen by accident. If you, for example, go to Walgreens and take a what's supposed to be a safe behind-the-counter prescription medication. Next thing you know, you're infected. I'm not blaming anybody. Just wake up, okay? Those reptilians are not only affecting the rich and the powerful, but you and me, everybody. Every human being from all walks of life are under the jurisdiction of those entities. It's all pussy. All right, move on. A man killed by his own captive lion. Again, how many times I've told you, during this negative window, animals go crazy. I recall that old lady that was killed by a bunch of wild dogs, you know, walking in the forest. I remember people being killed by elephants, by I mean, the list is endless. This energy is also affecting animals that makes them much more aggressive and deadly than normal. And those people who handle those wildlife, like the police, they have no freaking clue when those negative cosmic biorhythm affecting them directly comes in. Then that's where they play Russian roulette and then they die. There you go. Pitbull mauled and killed a 9-year-old girl. Again, you're talking about death news here. That little girl being mauled by, I think, 3 pit bulls that was hanging around. You know, when I take my little dog lady out at night, sometime ago it's 11, 12, 1, depending on how I feel, what's going on in my head, I always have my gun. Because if one of these dogs, you know, trying to bite me or my little girl here, you know, nobody's going to hurt me or my dog, not on my watch. So understand the sad reality. This is what's going on. Look at this. And the father had a fight. Lucky this guy's owner who owns this dog didn't get killed by the father. I mean, if I have a 9-year-old girl and he died because of sucker leave his dogs running around, especially these breeds, remember, the dogs are not responsible. This is the gambling matrix. Don't blame the dogs. It's a human being, greedy human being, who make sure they are actually breeding very wild animals so they can kill each other and make money. It's all about greed and reptilian infestation. I set it up. My heart goes to a rest in peace little girl. Death news. A manhunt is underway after a stabbing death at a California college. Again, death news. It's going on right now. Okay, the guy is drunk, drugs, you know, jealous, God knows what. It's never gonna end. It's impossible. Not unless humans are being taught to understand God's cosmic design and apply their will. but they know nothing about themselves. They are robots. That's sad. And of course, I'm not allowed, me and my students are not allowed to reach your children and teach them. So they're going to end up like that, being killers or being killed. That's it. Man who died after falling from hotel was fleeing after flashing employee. What are you talking about? Sex. Okay. I don't know how he died. I'm not interested. Those links are live. Some are not live. Just look on the news. It's out there. But it shows, again, what I was referring is sex. Okay. And he flashes on someone and then he dies. I don't know how. I don't want to know how. I know it's reptilious. Deputy Secretary of State expected to be selected for U.S. ambassador in Russia. I told you, anytime you have news involving Russia, you know that window is coming up. It's pretty important. But nothing like what's coming for Russia in years to come. I haven't yet. I'm already in the process of writing the 2020 Nostradamus Dragon forecast. You better be prepared, my friend. You better know what's going on out there. All right. Okay. What else do we have? British prince at mansion during Epstein accuses first visit. Lawsuit claims. Obviously, I told you, Epstein committed suicide because he was an order from the mob, the big guys who were involved with him, screwing and raping those young girls for years. And of course, knowing that now he's dead, there's not much you can say. So their ass is saved. So the order was passed to make sure he disappear. And then, now you have the British prince. This is a crowd. It's like your friends. Magnet will attract a piece of wood. Those billionaires, those attract each other. It's like the very famous people. It's a crowd, like the mobs, like a gang. If you're rich, you're going to be digging with the rich. Okay? And if the rich are, like everybody else, poisoned by the reptilians and want to have little girls, well, and then you have the king out there, okay, Mr. Epstein, who's going to make sure that you're going to set you up in a hotel for how long you're going to be in town, or if not, you come and visit me, you go and visit someone, you do something in a foreign country, you want to get laid, there you go, hey, call me, I take care of you. So now he's dead. The fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people involved with this infected sucker. All right, let's see, what do we have? Tanker carrying Iranian oil headed to Syria. Intelligence sources says, okay, secret to light. Okay, like this British prince that mentioned during Epstein's in his house, so to speak. Okay, secret to light. Everything comes to light. It's involving sex, it's involving secrets. It's the keywords are obvious. One, how to be stupid not to relate to the news and my keywords. Ex-MLB stars in Dominican Republic drug trafficking case. Okay, again, secret to light. Like if it doesn't make enough money, they are used to a very, very high life. Fame, money, buying this, buying that, and then they come out of the game, the money goes down, and they got to find a way to make money. And then, you know what? If you're an NFL, if you're a boxer, I mean, look at freaking Tyson. 30,000 worth of pot he has to smoke now. Imagine when he was boxing, he never hid it. He was high. That's why he tear up the ear of the other boxer. If you don't see that you're in hell, I don't know what to tell you, my friends. Okay. Home and away actor Ben Unwin has died. He was only 41 years old. Okay, well, I did his charts right here. So it was here. There you go. I got it. First of all, he was born in August. He was born with a stellium in the sign of Leo. Stellium is a lot of planet in the sign of Leo. And that's one of the reasons he was set by God to hit the stage and being famous. Remember Schwarzenegger, Clinton, Obama, Madonna, Michael Jackson, all these guys were born in August. You're born in August, you're meant by God to reach the light. So he did that. Sudden enough, you could see also he was born with Saturn in the sign of Leo. Saturn is the great malefic, and Leo was the heart. So he's got a very, 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 very fragile heart with Saturn in Leo on his heart. And look at the house of death. The house of death is in the sign of Pisces. And what Pisces rules? Drugs, alcohol. Okay? So God knows. He died of a heart attack. He died because of overdose. He died suicide. we'll find out sometime. Maybe the family don't want to, let you know. But as a rule, all of those born with the tail of the dragon right here in the sign of Aries have a violent death. They don't end up dying, in their bed in a normal old way. No, they die young. They live fast and they die young. There's so much more about the stars. I can't even see how you're going to die. And some people are too afraid to talk about this because they don't even know this doesn't exist. So I'll give you a little idea of astropsychology right here, right now. Canadian teen killers made a eerie final cell phone recording before death. Again, those two kids in Canada. You know the story. They killed some people, and then finally they killed themselves, literally. So talking about famous death, okay? I mean, like Ben Unwin, this guy is famous, so famous death, that's the keywords. Giving you a little bit more information. I explain to you the news, how they transpire. Okay, what else do we have? Bernie Sanders wants to stop police from using facial recognition software. Again, police news. There you go. So it's just crazy, my friends. It's crazy. You all know I've been fired out from every major networking popular websites. They fire me. The religious fanatic, the skeptics, they hate my guts, they're jealous. Next thing you know, they complain, and then people tend to, they don't even bother to see who I am, what I do, and I give them free and I educate people. They don't give a damn. All they want, there is a complaint, we're going to get rid of him. So, okay, I'm out. The only place I'm now allowed to actually post is BIN, B-I-N, before his news. And I strongly recommend you to go there. Beforehisnews.com. And my story kind of attract a few people here. So far, it's still growing, and the numbers are 6,517. That was a few hours ago. So this number is constantly growing. So I don't think I would hit as much people on Facebook. You have to pay a fortune. And if you post on Facebook, not only your stuff's going to be shared to manipulate, to be manipulated from what you say by corporation wants to sell your stuff, or Russian to, mingle with our electoral elections. But you will never get that. Even if I pay, I'll get 200 or 300 people. Unless you're very rich, there's no reason to be on Facebook, literally, because they control. I mean, I'm all over the place. I'm on radio. I'm on George Norrie, all over the place. And I put a post on Facebook and I have, 5, 10, 20, 30, 300 hits maximum. That's how it works, okay? And sudden enough, again, people will judge you by the numbers are following you. Oh, wow, he's popular. He's got so many people. But I had over 110,000 followers on before I got cancers, when I was on another website. And those who don't believe me, too bad, it's true. I had a lot of followers there. But that was then. Remember, you won't see DR.TURI on Wikipedia. You will not see me anymore on Facebook. In so many others websites, including LinkedIn, where I was one of the top red guy. In LinkedIn, talking about millions, they fire me again because people complain. They complain because I write about the truth about some of their people, very famous guys over there, to spend thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands to promote their stuff, to sell their stuff, to do their conferences. And I'm there saying the truth. Of course, they don't like it. So I don't spend any money. So who the hell I am? Get out of here. That's how we go. DR.TURI, the truth. All right. So as you know, I won the FBI, and I'm taking a lot of chances again. And hopefully they're not going to come here again and bug me and think I'm a sleeping cell, or I know all these terrorist attacks. Luckily for me, those terrorist attacks happen outside of the United States, so they're not going to bother me. But if one happen close, then they're going to come back again. Hopefully this time they're not going to waste their time or my time, because I'll stand on what I know, okay, because I'm firm. I know what I'm doing. Okay, they don't. They're a bunch of kids. And it's very educated, but cosmic and conscious, and that's the problem. So I'm not going to repeat myself about what's next for me as far as my public appearances are concerned, but I strongly recommend you to join me in Los Angeles. I'm I'm still having a lot of pain in my back, but I'm taking painkillers so I can stand and I can walk. But man, it's a nightmare to get up in the morning. That fall that I had really messed me up. So they did surgery on my hip. I'm okay with that, but my back is just messing me up. Can't talk about my situation, but I'll let you know that I will be there. It's at the end of September, so between now and then, who knows? Maybe I'm going to go through what you call another this laser surgery to fix it. I don't know what I did, but I messed up something bad in my back. All right, guys. So one more time, I want to thank you very much for your trust in my work. Pay attention. Now go and read the newsletter, and then grow, learn, because that's what I'm doing. And remember, okay, what did you offer the world today? It's all about giving out to people. That's karma. Remember, you throw something up, it's going to come back, good or bad. Okay, if you do something bad, you're going to get it. That's called karma. So share Dr. Turi's wisdom, help me save life, and then we go from there. Remember, the next couple of weeks are going to be, this window is nasty, so be cautious. Read the regulation, what you should do and what you should not do during those cosmic winds, and be safe. It's a perfect time to get a wake-up call, okay? And I really, really hope, and I know also that many of you today got a wake-up call, because I said be ready for earthquakes about 6.0. We had one yesterday, and we had one today. And I said be ready for an increase in seismic activity, and he came up. I said the same thing with terrorism, and it's coming up. Energy really start tomorrow. So let's hope nothing dramatic, nothing nasty will happen, and then I'll be wrong, okay? Talk to you again. Goodbye, everybody. Make it a beautiful day.